Hey everyone, Agnach here and welcome to another video. On today's video, I will be trying to explain how the lightning and earthquake spells work, the damage, range, and what's the best mix of spells against each defense. So we will start with the lightning spell. This spell got changed in the last update and went from a 2 housing space spell to a 1 housing space. Unlike the earthquake spell, this one has a specific damage of 560 when maxed at level 9, and it works against buildings but not against storages. The earthquake spell is also a 1 housing space, however at max level 5 its damage is 29% of the building's HP. However, repeated earthquakes deal less damage on buildings and more on walls. At first I thought each earthquake would deal 29% of the remaining HP of the building, therefore dealing less damage with each spell. But this is not the case. I'll explain how it works a little bit later. So the primary function of the earthquake spell is to open walls. 4 spells will open any level of wall. The main difference in the levels of the spell is the radius. It says a max level earthquake spell has a 4.7 tile radius, therefore it can open a 10 by 10 tile wall as shown here. However, if you're very accurate, you can open an 11 by 11 tile square as tested here, but you have to be very accurate and placing the earthquake spell exactly in the middle. Now, as I said before, against buildings it starts dealing less damage with every subsequent drop of spells. As you can see, earthquake alone won't get rid of any defenses. This is a list I've made to provide guidance of how many lightning spells you need to destroy a building with lightning alone. Also with 1, 2, 3 or up to 4 earthquake spells. So while researching for this video, I found out that the second earthquake spell deals a third of the damage of the first spell, or 10% of the remaining HP of the building. The third earthquake spell deals a fifth, or 6% of the remaining HP. And finally, the fourth spell deals 1/7 of the initial earthquake spell, or 4% of the remaining HP of the building. With this in mind, I've highlighted what the most efficient spell combination is for every building. For the sweeper, you only need 2 zaps. For the Tesla, you only need 2 zaps. The mortar also requires only 2 zaps. For the air defense, it's either 3 lightning spells or 2 lightning and 1 earthquake. Same for the archer tower with 3 lightning spells or 2 lightning and 1 earthquake. The bomb tower, you need a total of 4 spells. It takes also 4 spells for the cannon to go down as well, either mixture. The wizard tower takes either 5 lightning or 4 lightning with an earthquake spell. For the Inferno Tower, you need a minimum of 6 spells, and you can also use a combination of 2 earthquakes and 4 lightning. For the Scattershot, it's more efficient combining 5 lightning spells with 1 earthquake or 2 earthquakes with 4 lightning spells. For an Expo, 5 lightning spells and 1 earthquake is the most efficient. The Clan Castle is the next building based on HP with 4800 HP. The most efficient way of destroying it is with 7 or 6 lightning spells and 1 or 2 earthquake spells respectively. Even though it is technically a storage, this building is affected by lightning spells at the moment. The Eagle is the heaviest building and it needs the same combination of spells as the Clan Castle, with 7 lightning and 1 earthquake or 6 lightning and 2 earthquake spells. The Town Hall is a storage, and because of that the lightning spells do not affect it. If you try taking it down with earthquake spells, you would need a lot of them, and I wouldn't suggest doing it. You would run out of spells. However, you can take down almost a third of its health with 1 earthquake spell. This also activates it. The lightning spell doesn't activate the Town Hall. Now onto the heroes. The Archer Queen has an HP of 3390 at level 75, and it takes 7 spells to take her down. Even if she is in the Grand Warden aura, she still needs only 7 spells. The Royal Champion, on the other hand, has more HP, and when you add the Warden's buff, 7 spells is not enough and you need 8 to bring her down. The Grand Warden also acts as a defense and requires a minimum of 5 spells to go down. The HP increase for the Warden is 90% with a max increase of 575 HP, which is what makes the Royal Champion harder to kill. However, if you get rid of the Warden, the RC only needs 7 spells to go down. The King has so much HP that you would need 19 lightning spells to kill him. Now for the range of the lightning spell, it is a 5x5 tile spell. However, if the building is on the corners, it won't get hit. If I place my spells in the middle here, every building placed on the tiles where walls are would be affected. On this picture, the archer towers are 3 tiles between each other and a sap in the middle gets rid of all of them. On this other example, I place the wizard towers on the corners but still 1 tile in. Saps in the middle get rid of everything as well. However, on this example I have created a lightning range and put the cannons on the corners, placed the saps in the middle, and as you can see, due to them being on the corners, they didn't get damaged. Well, that's it for me. Hopefully you did enjoy a bit of the explanation on how the lightning and the earthquake spells go, as well as that little form that shows you what's the most efficient way of bringing a defense down or a building down. If you did like the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with a little bit more Clash of Clans. Enjoy.